Amid the relentless pulse of New York's skyline, where skyscrapers pierced the heavens like defiant spears, rose the gleaming spire of Sterling Dynamics. At its helm was Damian Sterling, the 40-year-old director whose name evoked whispers of innovation and ice. Tall and chiseled, with hair as dark as midnight oil and eyes like fractured emeralds, sharp, unyielding, Damian had sculpted his aerospace empire from raw ambition. Jets that conquered distances, drones that danced with stars, his was a world of velocity and void. Yet, in the sterile hush of his rooftop office, after the executives dispersed like smoke, Damian unraveled. Nights blurred into dawn with the aid of amber bottles, chasing away the specter that haunted him, a fear so profound it clipped his own wings. He, the man who launched dreams into orbit, could not abide the sky's embrace. Leora Kane, the 27-year-old janitor who swept the echoes of his empire after hours, was a quiet constellation in his chaos. With tresses of honeyed chestnut that framed her face like sunlit vines, and eyes of twilight violet that shimmered with unspoken sagas, Leora glided through the corridors like a forgotten melody. She had washed ashore in the city 5 years prior, from the rugged coasts of Ireland, where her brother, a prodigious aviator, had vanished in a fiery plummet over the Atlantic. Grief had grounded her. She traded cockpits for carts, her skilled hands now coaxing shine from steel rather than steering through tempests. Damian glimpsed her often, a silhouette in the glow of vending machines, murmuring Gaelic lullabies to the fluorescent hum, but dismissed her as scenery, until one thunderous eve when fate scripted their collision. The storm descended like divine wrath, rain lashing the helipad atop Sterling Dynamics as if to scour the world clean. Damian's private Sikorsky awaited, rotors dormant, its pilot delayed by flooded runways. He paced the windswept platform, frustration etching deeper lines into his brow, when Leora appeared, pushing her supply trolley, undeterred by the gale that tore at her scarf. "You," he snapped, voice a whipcrack over the howl, "always lurking in the shadows. What would a girl like you know of real power?" She paused, violet eyes steady as a lighthouse in fog, wiping rain from her brow. "Power, Mr. Sterling, it's not in the height you climb, but in what you carry when you fall." His laughter was a jagged thing, born of bourbon and bravado, as lightning etched the clouds in silver veins. The executives, huddled by the elevator, tittered in anticipation of his sport. "Fine, then, prove it." He gestured to the helicopter, its door ajar like a taunt from the gods. "Fly this beast, take us on a victory lap over Manhattan, and I'll marry you. Vows under the lights, my ring on your finger." The mighty Damian Sterling, tamed by a mop maiden. The words dripped mockery, a wager wrapped in whimsy, his emerald gaze challenging her to fold. But Leora saw the tremor in his stance, the way his fingers clenched the flask like a talisman. The crowd held its breath. She did not. With the grace of a swan reclaiming the current, Leora stepped aboard, her touch reverent on the cyclic, fingers tracing dials like old lovers. Damian followed, slamming the partition shut, settling into the leather embrace with a smirk that masked the coil in his gut. The engines thrummed to life, a primal heartbeat, and they ascended, the storm parting like a curtain for their ascent. Manhattan sprawled below, the Empire State aglow like a sentinel's torch, the Hudson a ribbon of molten silver, bridges strung with pearls of traffic. Leora's voice crackled softly over the intercom. "The sky isn't a throne, Damian. It's a mirror. What do you see in it?" His secret shattered at 5,000 feet, where turbulence gripped them like a jealous lover, the chopper bucking in the gale's fury. Damian's facade fractured, his face drained to ash, breaths ragged as phantom rotors whirred in his mind. It was the crash of '09, the family copter spiraling into the Adirondacks, his father's final scream echoing as flames devoured all but him. Damian, 16 and scarred, had clawed from the inferno, vowing dominion over the air to bury the dread that now clawed back. "Stop. Land it," he rasped, emerald eyes wild, body rigid against the yoke. "I can't. God, I can't breathe." Sweat slicked his brow, the invincible director reduced to a boy adrift in night terror. Leora banked smoothly, her violet gaze flickering with compassion's light, not scorn, but the tender knowing of shared tempests. Anchor to my voice, Damien. In for 4, hold, out for 8. The clouds don't claim us, they cradle. Her tone was a balm, woven from Irish winds and resilient heart, guiding 'em earthward to a secluded airstrip on the river's edge. As skids kissed tarmac, rotors sighing into silence, Damien slumped, the deluge of decades cascading free. How? Why didn't you flinch? At my cruelty. He turned, voice a broken reed. That crash, it stole everything. Father, my nerve. I've built walls of wings to hide it, but you saw through. In the rain-lashed hangar, under the hush of dripping eaves, Leora's hand found his, calloused from buckets, yet fierce as the gales she'd outflown. I know cages forged in fire, Damien. My brother, gone in a blink over the sea. I clean to forget, but the sky calls me still. Your taunt, it was a key, not a lock. She shared her vigil, nights charting stars for solace, the brother who taught her to dance with downdrafts. Fear isn't failure, it's the forge that tempers us. Damien's confessions flowed then, a torrent, the empire as armor, the solitude as penance, the mockery a shield against her quiet radiance. You're no shadow, Leora. You're the dawn I feared. As first light pierced the storm, gilding the horizon in rose and amber, Damien knelt, not in jest, but in humbled truth, on the wet concrete. Leora Kane, navigator of my storms, marry me. Not for spectacle, but for the horizon we chase together, fearless, entwined. Tears mingled with rain on her cheeks, a symphony of release. I, Damien Sterling, let's rewrite the winds. The Union unfolded 6 moons later on an Irish bluff, where Atlantic swells sang their covenant, gales as witnesses. Sterling dynamics evolved. Flight academies for the fearful, scholarships lifting dreamers from dust. Yet their truest legacy was intimate. A hearth aglow with tales traded over tea, skies conquered not in cockpits, but in the safety of each other's gaze. Damien learned. True ascent demands vulnerability's leap. Leora discovered. Love, like flight, thrives in surrender, to tempests within, to the one who sees your scars as stars. For in the heart's vast eyrie, the greatest secret is that we all yearn to be carried home. Thank you for watching this story till the end. Sparkles, if it touched your heart, please support us. Thumbs up, give it a like. Speech balloon, share your thoughts in the comments. Bell, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Your support helps us create more stories that inspire and make you believe in miracles. Your participation means a lot to us. Heart.